Prasad. Outside my comfort zone. Outside my comfort zone is Prasad. A very good afternoon to my fellow Toastmasters and guests who are present online and in person. Not too long from here, I was born in Ashok Nagar. My mom, a school teacher, my dad, a government employee. When my grandfather was young, our government heavily promoted on B2 Hours 2 campaign. That is, instead of hours 2, my grandfather had it in 2 digits. That is 10 children. My father was one among the 10 children my grandfather had. But my father was a smart guy. He learned from his father's mistake. So when his time came, our government said, we do hours 1, so I'm the only one. As a famous Tamil saying goes, teacher pulla makku, which roughly translates to teacher's son is dumb. I'm a very average student. It is not that I was bad in one subject, but I was equally bad in all subjects. When I was a kid, do you know what is the worst thing for me other than going to school? Any guesses? It's going to the same school where my mom is a teacher. Some of you might think, what's wrong in that? If you have a known face, it should be advantages, right? Right? Well, absolutely not. Let me tell you a list of things which I can't do being a teacher's son. First, I can't hide in the crowd. Okay? Every other teacher knows me. Second, I'm always speak first, except in this contest. And there is always a high expectation on how I deliver. Again, except in this contest. And the third and the most important thing is, I cannot hide my mark sheet. Thankfully, my dad decided his already overachieving son was not challenged enough, so he decided to shift me from a matriculation to a CBC school. When I heard about it, I was very worried. I thought about it for some time. I did the pros and cons in my head. So if I stayed here, I'll have to go through all this. But if I move to a new school, I can hide from my mom. Nobody will know that I suck. Even though the subjects were difficult, I'll somehow escape. That's what I thought. A blessing in disguise is what I thought. Sadly, all my dream came crashing down. One important thing I forgot to realize was that my mom was a teacher way before I was born, so she had friends in all the schools. So wherever I go, it's going to be very similar, and I have to face the all same thing what I was doing here. Luckily, somehow I cleared my 12th standard with an average score of 70%. It's actually 69.4, but I would like to say it as 70 as it sounds a little better. Fast forward, I somehow studied in the latest stage of my life. I went to IIT. I'm currently employed in an MNC on a decent role. When I look back, it's not that I was bad in academics. I was just being lazy. I just didn't want to do any work. How lazy, you ask me? When choosing the college, I didn't choose the college based on how good it was. I didn't choose the college based on how prospect it had and based on how good I will study there, but I chose the one which is close to my house. Another example, even though I was only son to my family, I still got married only in the mid-30s. Now I have one son, one wife, just one. In fact, when I was preparing for the speech, I want to make a list of 10 things which I can talk about how lazy I am. But after doing the first 2, I was so lazy, I just gave up on all that. Thankfully, I'm getting a little better nowadays, especially after my marriage. The first few months of my marriage, I used to wake up early in the morning at 6 a.m. I first have my coffee, then I brush my teeth, then I take my bath, then I have my breakfast, then I go to sleep again. Somehow, my wife didn't understand the healthy lifestyle I had. When she asked me, I tell her, It's not that I was lazy, I was just highly motivated not to do anything. I'm sure you guys know how it would have ended. Raise of hands, how many lazy people are here? Right then, see, we are the majority, right? The proud ones. One good thing about being lazy and being called a failure all my life is that there is absolutely no shame to fail. You've all been a wonderful audience. It's been my pleasure being here. Thank you very much.